I decided to myself one day, I asked myself, why would a person pray for their burdens to be taken away? I said, because those are things that person has already lived through and gone through that are knowledge to keep them going for the future if they ever have something similar to that problem again. And if they have nothing more to live for, they'll at least find answers to all those problems. At least find strength to keep on going. That are those burdens. And those burdens will at least give them pain and suffering enough from the past to keep on going. So at least they don't give up. I said those burdens are strength to keep on moving on. I said just like, hey, when you might have been mad when your brother took your etch a sketch and broke it, but you learned that knowledge people are trustworthy with your toys. Was that knowledge and wisdom you learned from that at that age? But that's knowledge and wisdom and a burden you had to live with. And that's knowledge you at least lived through to go through for the future. You know? At least that, at least was more than you had back then, despite whether you're 8 or 12 years old or not. But at least that burden, at least today, would give you knowledge nowadays to know who's trustworthy and who's not trustworthy over things. And what's right and wrong in this world to know that. So I asked these people this day, why would they pray for their burdens to be taken away despite how big, little, or small in their life as one person that they are? Because there's something you can't change that's in the past and you've already lived through it. You've already existed through it. And that's not a burden, that's a triumph because you're still here. If it was a real burden, it'd be holding you back, it'd be weighing you down, it'd be disabling you physically for the rest of your life. That's not a burden, that's a victory, buddy. Because you're still here. Because that's knowledge that you have to move on with that problem. And that's the way I look at life, in knowledge, wisdom, and existence. And knowledge is power, definitely without a doubt. But there is good knowledge and bad knowledge, like they say, in any real life reality. As long as you abide by man and God's laws, stick to it, usually, with all things you work, do, make money in life and love them with, usually you're all right. You're pretty blessed most of the time. But those people that don't understand that, they sit there and cry just because of what they've been through, because they have trouble moving on. Yeah. Everybody gets that way. If you're human, it's going to emotionally hurt after you lose someone you care about, that you knew and loved, just like anybody else. That's called being human. That's called having feelings. And yeah, that person might never come back. But I guarantee what you learn from that person is probably priceless. And yeah, just like anybody else, I've lost people just like anybody else has in their life. By my age, at the age of 45. But I don't consider those burdens. I see those memories. I respect those people that were here. You know what I do when I lose someone I'm close to? I say, well, I take the good memories of those people with me and the good knowledge of those things and leave the bad behind. And may they rest in peace forevermore. So I don't bring a burden with me after they pass, merely emotionally. How can I say that to myself, merely and physically? and not take everything with me that I know of that person. I said, because it's your choice what to dwell on or remember of that person, mentally and physically. Like, you can think about good things, or you can think about bad things, and that's your choice as a person. A lot of people don't realize that mentally, emotionally, psychologically, but that's the real truth. They choose what they think of. They choose what they do. They choose what they dwell on. They choose what they work on. They choose what they eat and drink every day. They choose what they think about. So, when you say, I free myself from those burdens, remember, not all of them are burdens. They're just wisdom, knowledge, and strength to keep moving on and doing better from that point on and never make that mistake again. And be better than that problem from that point on. And that is the real truth, knowledge, or wisdom. Someone says, working for what you earn, dating, marrying, having kids is the fruits of life. I say yes. But from all life's problems, trials, tribulations, good and bad people in it, some of those thieves, some of those murderers, some of those liars, some of those schemers, all of them good, honest, hard-working people like us here today. Even me as a songwriter blueprint caller knows this quite well. I had daily bank product for over 100,000 through 3 different Cash App accounts, but I don't talk about that. Did I say that burden problem? I said, no, I let the police deal with it like anybody else. With a few program investigators. Tell them, go get my money. They asked, what do they get for their pay? I said, well, you get a felon employment reward, and you get whatever money's out of that they stole so far. I brought my money. I said, as long as it's not my business associate, people I work with, and it's not one of their paid workers, then legally, they had no place to have mine or their money. I said, okay, is that a burden? I said, no, it's a criminal act. It's a criminal burden in my life. So I let the law do it like you're supposed to. But like they say, for every problem or burden, there's an answer. And someone says, how can that be? I said, okay, if you have a dirty sheet, you wash it, and the sheet's clean, and that problem is answered, right? Okay. You have a criminal problem, you put the law on it, or police, or lawmen. You don't sit there alone and keep on doing that and getting over on it, you deal with them accordingly. Now, this is some wisdom and knowledge of David Kowalczyk's music inventions. Good day and God bless. I'm over at Regions Bank in Pensacola, Florida, Escambia County, off New Warrington Road. Good day and God bless, everyone.